This program is brought to you by Toby Peanuts. We are nuts.
Toby, Toby Peanuts, your everyday delight. Anytime, any place, everything feels right. Toby Peanuts, the joy has just begun.
Sometimes letting it out can make a big difference.
Oh yes.
And sometimes you gotta let your heart speak.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Lovenotes. Dear Joe, I've been married to my husband for 10 years. We started as college sweethearts, inseparable, always laughing, always dreaming together. Back then, I believed nothing could ever come between us. Today, when I look at our life, it seems like we've checked all the boxes. We both have decent jobs, we have 2 kids we adore, and we finally moved into our new house last year. We don't fight often, Joe, and from the outside, people think we're the perfect couple. But the truth is, right now, I feel like my husband and I are just roommates. We live under the same roof, but it's as if our hearts no longer live in the same space. Joe, my husband, worked long hours, and when he's home, he's usually on his phone, answering emails or watching TV. I spend most of my time taking care of the kids and keeping the house together. We hardly ever talk anymore. And when we do, it's just about the bills, the kids' schedules, or what groceries we need. Gone are the days and the late night talks we used to have, Joe. Gone are the spontaneous dates, the surprise flowers, even the simple hand-holding while watching TV. Yes, we sleep on the same bed, but I cannot remember the last time we fell asleep in each other's arms. Joe, I lie awake some nights, staring at the ceiling, wondering if he even notices how distant we've become. And what hurts the most is the silence. Not the kind after a fight, Joe, but the silence of indifference. I feel invisible, like I'm just the house manager and the mother of his children, but not the woman he once pursued and loved. And I keep asking myself, is this just what marriage eventually becomes? A partnership of responsibilities without romance or passion? Or have we simply let our love slip away without even noticing? Joe, a part of me longs to fight for us, to bring back even a small piece of what we once had. But another part of me is afraid. What if I try and he doesn't even care enough to try with me? What if I pour myself out only to find out that he's already emotionally distant? Joe, I don't want to give up on us, but I don't want to spend the rest of my life feeling alone in my own marriage either. Joe, is there still hope for us? Or do I accept that the spark was only meant to last for a season? Sincerely yours, Rowena. Rowena, what you're going through is something many married couples are silently carrying in their hearts. From the outside, everything looks perfect. A home, children, stability. But inside, there is a loneliness that words can barely capture. You asked if this is what marriage eventually becomes. Just 2 people sharing responsibilities and living side by side without passion. Rowena, the truth is, love does change over time. The butterflies and the late night conversations may fade, but they are not meant to disappear forever. They are meant to grow into something deeper, a love that is intentional and not accidental. In the early years, love feels effortless, right? You didn't need to remind him to hold your hand or surprise you with flowers. But as life gets heavier, love is no longer automatic. It requires choice. It requires effort. It requires two people deciding every single day that their marriage is worth fighting for. The danger comes when couples begin to detach, when conversations are reduced to bills and chores, when touch is replaced with distance, and when silence becomes the new normal. That's when a husband and a wife slowly turn into strangers under the same roof. Rowena, the fact that you still long for what you once had means that the love in your heart is still alive. The spark may be hidden, but it's not gone. Sometimes, all it takes is for one person to start again, to make the first move, to speak what has been unspoken, to remind your partner of what you have both promised on your wedding day. Don't be afraid to talk to him, not about chores or schedules, but about your heart. Tell him what you miss. Tell him what you need. And don't say it with blame, but with hope. Because love is not about keeping score of what's missing. It's about inviting the other person to walk back into the space where you once held each other's hearts. And if he responds, even in small ways, nurture that spark. Bring back the small things, a handwritten note, a meal together without the kids, a simple I love you whispered before bed. Sometimes, Rowena, it's not the grand gestures that save a marriage, but the consistent little choices to keep choosing each other. Rowena, don't give up yet. What feels like a silent house today can still be filled with laughter and warmth again, if both of you are willing to choose love, not just once, but every single day. And remember, love was never meant to be sustained by feelings alone. Real love is held together by faith, faith in God who first authored your marriage. The Bible says a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. So don't just fight for your marriage with your own strength. Fight with prayer, fight with faith, and trust that the God who brought you together can also bring you back to each other again. Thank you for sharing this with us, Rowena, and God bless you. You've just heard another episode of Love Notes, exclusive here on Dear Joe Radio.
Kahit anong kwento, siya'y nandyan para sa'yo. Sa bawat liham, may silip ng pag-asa.